staff, we would like to offer our sincere condolences to you all for the loss of your loved one. And to say that we're so very honored that you've chosen Riverside National Cemetery as your loved one's final resting. Now, before we turn the services over to the honor team, we ask if you have cell phones, if you could please place them on silence at this time. However, you can take as many photos or videos as you like. Thank you. The first event that the honor team will present will be the sounding of taps. If you have served or currently serving in the military, please render one final hand salute. Everyone else, place your right hand over your heart. The second event will be the folding and the presentation of the flag to you. And if you're able to at this time, please rise for military honors. Thank you.
Can you do this for me, please? Yes. It's video recording, just gotta keep it pointed at me.
Riverside National Cemetery and the Department of Veterans Affairs. Would like to continue with this presidential memorial certificate signed by the President of the United States.
I'm going to tell you thing with Gray, stop crying. It doesn't always work, It's a ceremony I never get tired of seeing. And today I was touched by a number of you that offered a salute. Now how grateful I am to Sandy for having served our country. We live with our personal memories of devoted loved ones who, through their service to our nation, have defended our fundamental values. The sacrifices that they have made dignify the life for each of us. Following their examples, may we move forward with faith, love, courage, and freedom. May we move forward with the choice to listen to each other. To embrace each other. At a time when there's so much division, may we step across the aisle to our brothers and our sisters. And may we work together for the benefit of this country. Private First Class Sandy Clark enlisted in the United States Army on March the 20th, 1984. He began his service in the 502nd Infantry Regiment of the Berlin Brigade. He was also stationed at Hunter Army Airfield in Georgia, was honorably discharged from Fort Wainwright, Alaska on September the 6th, 1991. During his 7 years, 5 months, and 17 days of service, Private First Class Clark was a recipient of the Army Service Ribbon, the National Defense Service Medal, the Army Lapel Button, the Army Achievement Medal, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the Expert Infantryman Badge, the Army Occupation Medal, and the Non-Commissioned Officer Development Ribbon. Following today's military honors and this time of year, his earthly remains will be laid to rest here at Riverside National Cemetery. Feel no guilt in laughter. He'd know how much you care. Feel no sorrow in a smile that he is not here to share. You cannot grieve forever. You would not want it to. You'd hope that you could carry on the way you always do. So talk about the good times and the way you showed you cared, the days you spent together, all the happiness you shared. Let memories surround you, a word someone will say will suddenly recapture a time, an hour, or a day that brings him back as clearly as though he were still here. Fills you with the feeling that he is always near. For if you keep these moments, you will never be apart, and he will live forever, locked safely in your heart. Sandy Lewis Clark, Jr., husband, father, a grandfather, a nephew, a son, a brother, an uncle, neighbor, and friend, co-worker, has now brought to rest his multiple acts of kindness and love. May we treasure and honor the gifts of the grace that he is so beautifully modeled for us, making this a sacred place as it is already to so many. So how do we move forward from this day? don't know, I stopped giving advice a long time ago. I think though that what has worked for me in these settings is to continue to reflect upon the person that I know and love that has passed. You know, those words that you said to me back at the chapel, that when I said his name, those words that you reflect upon. I've heard it said that what we love most in another person, what draws us to them, is likely a character trait that we too carry here inside ourselves, whether you recognize it or not. So those words that you shared with me and with others, whether you spoke them or you just carry them privately in your heart, is a way that you connected with him. How do we take a step forward? We take those things that we love most about Sandy, and we embody those and embrace them more into our own lives. We go out and help to make this world a better place. Why? Because there's a vacuum in this world without him. And it is incumbent upon all of us to go out and to help fill that vacuum. Oh, we can't replace him, but we can carry him forward with us every day as we continue to reflect and live our lives in the manner in which he would want us to live. To love each other, to respect each other, to show kindness to one another. So may we close with a blessing. May we all understand that on this journey of grief, that each person finds what helps them along the way to get them through the next hour or week or day. May you be kind and loving and forgiving to each other, and to remember to offer hugs and help. And I love you at every chance that you get. May you understand that tears are just memories in motion, and there is no better way sometimes to express your grief than through the sacred act of crying. May you find your own special way to honor Sandy's life, to hear his voice and to claim his spirit in your heart, while being grateful that you shared life's journey with him. You know, if Bob and the staff at Miller-Jones were to invite a forensics expert to go back to the chapel this afternoon, there's evidence that I have been there. For I left something of my own behind there. It wasn't a business card or my phone or my wallet. Much more personal than that, because I'm the only one who has it. You can't forge mine. It's my fingerprint. To me, it's incredible that I'm the only one who has this. You have yours, but you don't have mine. Sandy had his, but you don't have his, and we each have our own unique fingerprint. So when we touch something, as I did speaking at that podium, I'll leave an imprint behind that I was there. They could go examine it, and it's obvious that I was there. We're here today, I believe, because Sandy touched your life in a very significant and profound way. That's why you came here on Friday afternoon to honor his life and memory, because he touched your life and he left an imprint. Now, you know, if you needed to, you could wipe away a fingerprint. But you can never wipe away an imprint of the heart. That's indelible. It remains forever. So as a closing act of remembrance before we leave Riverside National Cemetery and his earthly remains are laid to rest, I'm going to invite you, if you so choose, to come forward and to place your fingerprints on this very classic looking, beautiful casket that holds his remains. Those fingerprints, when you leave them, is a way of saying thank you to him for having shared life's journey with you. And when those fingerprints come together, they represent a collage of who knows how many lives that he has touched in his brief 53 years with us. This will conclude our services here today. There's the reception back at the mortuary. I think you can find your way without the escort there. Now put it in your phone, it'll help you find your way there. Kelly, thank you. Ricky. She was cute, thank you. So, let's come forward if you so choose and place your fingerprints on his casket and let this close our time together.
Take a back seat. No problem. Aren't you here? Sorry, step inside.
It starts right out.